Hi everyone! Welcome to day 3 of my 12 Days of Interactive December Dailies video series. If you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe for more process videos and find me on Instagram for more December daily inspiration. Today I'll be showing you how to create this advent calendar inspired page that I made to document all of the Christmas cards that I made this year. So this was largely inspired by one of the sticker sheets in the Cocoa Daisy Christmas bonus kit. And basically I have the numbers 1 through 25, and each one of them opens to reveal one of the cards that I made this year. So if you'd like to get close-up looks on these cards, I do have most of these uploaded onto my Instagram page, so you can go ahead and check that out. I've left a couple of these blank because I have a couple more card ideas that I'd like to make before the end of the year. So once I do that, then I'll fill out the rest of these windows here. And this will be day 2 of my December daily album in my Citrus Twist Life Crafted album. So if you'd like to know how to make this page, keep watching. So I saw this sticker sheet in the Cocoa Daisy Christmas kit for this year, and I decided I wanted to do kind of like an advent calendar page with these number stickers, and I wanted them to each have like a flap that opened to reveal a Christmas card that I had made for this year. So this process took a lot of measuring and math and cutting and scoring. So basically what I did was I measured the heights and widths of all of these stickers, and then I recorded down the measurements for all 25 stickers. So for example here, the number 1 sticker is 5/8 of an inch times 7/8 of an inch. And then what I did was I added 1/2 an inch to both dimensions. So 5/8 of an inch plus 1/2 an inch equals 1 1/8 of an inch. 7/8 of an inch plus 1/2 an inch equals 1 3/8 of an inch. And I did that for all 25 numbers again. Then what I did was I circled alternating sides. So like I alternated which side that I circled, and when I cut those pieces out, I added another 1/4 of an inch onto that measurement. So for the 1 sticker, I cut a piece that was 1 1/8 of an inch plus 1/4 inch. So that's 1 3/8 of an inch times 1 3/8 of an inch. So I'll show you what that is. So this is, this is 1 3/8 of an inch by 1 3/8 of an inch. And then to the side that I added that 1/4 inch to, I scored it at the 1/4 inch and then applied some score tape here. So when you fold it over, essentially you get the piece that's 1 1/8 inches by 1 3/8 inches. So I'll show you another example. For my number 2 piece here, the sticker measured 3/4 of an inch by 5/8 of an inch. I added 1/2 an inch to both dimensions, so that gave me 1 1/4 inch by 1 1/8 inch. This time I added a 1/4 inch, an extra 1/4 inch onto this measurement here, so the 1 1/8 of an inch side, which gave me 1 3/8 of an inch. So you cut a piece that's 1 1/4 inches by 1 3/8 of an inch, and you score on this side at 1/4 inch. So that gave me a piece that was, wrong side again, 1 1/4 inches by 1 3/8 of an inch, and when you fold it, that becomes 1 1/8 of an inch. So I hope that makes sense. I'll kind of show these up close so that you can look at the measurements and pause the video if you want to create this page the same way I did, if you have this sticker sheet. And so what I'm going to do is I've cut these pages, this is the same size as a Citrus Twist Life Crafted album sheet protector. So it's 5 inches by 8 3/8 of an inch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have like an inside spread here, and I'm going to arrange my pieces so that they open in different ways. So number 1 might open this way, number 2 might open this way, and let's see, number 3 might open this way. So I did label all of these pieces and I did score them so that they would all open in different ways. And what I'm going to do is, because this sheet has like 5 rows, 5 columns, and that's not symmetrical, like I wouldn't be able to make that symmetrical, I'm going to do 3 columns in each row, and I'm going to fill one of the columns up with some scrap paper. So, like for example, I could have the 1 here, the 2 here, the 3 here, 4, 5, and then I could have a piece of pattern paper here. So I'm just going to go through and arrange these how I would like them to be. All right, so right off the bat, I know that I'm going to have some extra space on the top and the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually move them down a bit and cover the top edge here with some washi tape. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taping down my pieces. I just wanted to mention as well that there are a couple of other ways that you could do this advent calendar page if you didn't want to cut all the individual pieces and then score them and then put the score tape on and then tape them down to the page. So instead what you could do is you could take the base page and arrange your advent calendar stickers onto the page first and stick those down. And then you could take a ruler and a craft knife and cut around those stickers. So like on 3 sides, and then score on the other side that you don't cut, so that your flaps and the sticker are kind of like one layer, and then the layer behind that is the layer that you put your photos on. So the reason why I chose to do it this way was because I find it a bit easier to arrange all of my flaps first, so that I can see what the flaps look like on the page before I commit to gluing them down. I find with the cutting way, it's a bit more permanent because once you cut the page, you can't really put it back, and this way it just allows me to rearrange the pieces to how I want them to fit on the page. All right, so we have all of our pieces taped down. I'm going to cut away the extra washi tape now. I guess I'll just mention as well that I kept the washi tape on initially so that the page wouldn't move as much as I was trying to rearrange all of my flaps down. Here I just realized that one of my flaps is in the wrong orientation that I wanted it to be, so I'm just carefully peeling that off and resticking it down. If you happen to use score tape and you have pieces stuck down that won't come back off, you can always use, I like to use a solution called Undo. I'll link it down in the description box below, but basically it's a solution that can undo any dry adhesive that you might have. So any tapes, stickers, things like that, score tape that's as you know, score tape is really hard to remove once you've placed it down. So it removes that without leaving behind any residue. It does have an odor to it, so those who are sensitive to odors might want to avoid it, but I just find that useful when I'm crafting and I make a mistake. Here I didn't have to do that, but yeah. So I'm just measuring out some patterned pieces of paper and just cutting those down to fit in those spaces that I had left. Great way to use up any of the scraps of pattern paper that you might have left over from other projects. Another thing to note is that the doors on these advent calendar flaps are like they're sticking out a bit, but I'm not too concerned about that. So I feel like once my album is full and I have enough pressure on these doors, they'll just lie a bit flatter. If you're really concerned about it, you can always burnish down the pieces with a bone folder as well, and that will definitely help the pieces stay down a bit flatter. All right, so there's all of my pieces glued down, and now I just have to cut out my photos and put them in. So I've printed all of the photos of my various cards onto some glossy photo paper using my HP Envy printer. And the way that I did this was just on Microsoft Word. I copied and pasted all of the photos of my various cards that I made, and I resized them so that they're approximately the same size as the measurements that I showed at the beginning of this video, where basically the same size as the flaps that I cut out. So here I'm just cutting them down to size. Sometimes I have to trim a bit extra off just to accommodate for, like, when the flap folds over, that takes up a bit of space, so you might have to trim a bit extra off in order to have the photo completely hidden when the flap closes. And then I'm just using my Tombow Mono adhesive tape runner to tape all of these into place. By the time I was done cutting all of these photos down, the photos themselves ended up being a bit smaller than I had imagined them being at the beginning. So I think that it's okay though. I feel like these are, especially in real life, they're just large enough so that I kind of have a sense of what types of things I was interested in using this year for my Christmas cards, what types of techniques I was using, what dies and stamp sets I had used, and things like that. And if I want to look at any of the pictures in detail, I always have them on my Instagram account, so I could always refer back to that if necessary. I'll also just note that this whole process from start to finish took me probably about 2 hours to make, including measuring all the stickers, getting all the pieces cut down and taped and scored, arranging them onto the sheets, making sure my photos were the correct size. It helped that I had already taken photos of all of my cards for Instagram prior to this video, and then cutting down all the pieces and gluing them down. Yeah, it probably took around 2 hours, but I feel like it's worth it because making Christmas cards is a big part of my holiday traditions and celebrations, so I just wanted to make sure that was documented in this album. So the next thing I'd like to do is to put a couple of labels onto this layout. So I wanted to put one here and 2 here, so that I can do a bit of stamping and add my number for the day. So this is going to be day 2 for my December daily, and I'm going to be using this stamp set from Everyday Explorers called 29 Prompts. and I'm going to be using the one here that says currently making. So I have my stamp and my stamping block here. I also wanted to mention that the labels that I'm using here are pre-stamped labels that I made using the Elle Studio labels stamp set and die set, and I just pulled some out with the coordinating colors from this kit and used them on the spread here. So that finishes up my spread for day 2. I hope you enjoyed that process video, and if you have any questions, let me know. Be sure to subscribe as well, and click the button for notifications down below. Thanks for watching.